Please welcome Rach from Sheffield.
Hello everyone, I'm Rach, I'm a recovered addict. I just want to say a massive thank you to all the committee, for putting on this event and for bringing us all together, and so that we can have that unity and carry a message and share a message of hope. And I really hope that I can do that today. I hope that I can just get Rach out of the way and just bring God in, and I am really excited to share my experience with people, because it blows me away. Like, I can't believe it. My clean date is the 14th of February, 2020. Thank you. I can't take any credit for it. I can't take any credit for it. It's literally these 12 steps, a sponsor armed with the facts. The fellowship, the global fellowship, has just shown me exactly what I needed to do. And because of that, I haven't needed to pick up a mind-altering substance for over 5 years. And to any newcomers in the room, I just want to welcome you with all my love. This thing is possible. I couldn't go one day. I literally could not go one day without picking up. And today, I just don't want to use. I don't want to drink. I recoil from it as from a hot flame. That is my experience. And I just want to take you back. I've been really reflective recently, thinking about my journey in recovery. And I was thinking about this unmanageability and this powerlessness that I needed to understand. I needed to understand what my problem was so that I could get into the solution with all of the desperation of a drowning woman. And 6 years ago, I was homeless, right? And I was living in a tent. This is no joke, this is my experience. I was living in a tent, and I slept with a hammer and a big knife under my pillow, in case anyone tried to come into the tent. To me, this is perfectly like a normal thing to do. Obviously, that's psychotic and crazy. I'm a mother of 2 as well, I've got 2 incredible children. They're grown up now, but, they've experienced this stuff too. And so I'm homeless. I'm living in a tent. My kids are with my mum. I'm cringing if I'm going to share this, but I'm pissing in a bottle. And if you're thinking, how does that work? Imagine a 2-litre Coke bottle cut in half, okay? Innovation, right? Have you ever looked at your own urine and gone, ew, like, that looks radioactive. That's not normal. That's scary. That kind of luminous colour is not healthy. But you're like, oh, that's all right. I'll sort it tomorrow. It's fine. This insanity, this insanity that I didn't understand. And I was thinking about this unmanageability, and I was chuckling to myself, right? Just the levels, the extent of this unmanageability. I was laughing the other day because today I like to keep my home clean and tidy and organised and sorted. And I was laughing about the washing up. The washing up for me used to be a big drama. Can anyone relate to this? Why? Why me? You eat food, you have to do the washing up. You haven't got a dishwasher. Deal with it. Every single piece of crockery, dish, plate, cup, don't look at it. Why me? I wanted my life to be me, this was a real thing, so don't laugh. I wanted to be jumping out of an aeroplane, signing a multi-million-pound contract as I fall out the plane. Whilst I'm on the sofa, slouched out, going, why me? Because the washing up is there. Unmanageable. I was thinking about another level of this unmanageability. There was a couple of different things I wanted to just share about, because obviously it's a 45-minute share, and that identification is really important. I love talking about the solution. I could talk about the solution all day long, but unless I understand what my real problem is, I'm not going to get to that. So, the washing up. I'm also the kind of white people that when there's any sunshine outside, I'm like, bikini in the garden. Well, if there's a cloud, outside blocking my son in England because I spend all my money on drink and drugs and I can't afford a holiday. I'm pissed. I'm fuming. I'm angry with the weather. Like really angry, like it's going to ruin my whole day because that was my day to tan. Unmanageable. Insane. Crazy. Another level of my unmanageability. I'm on holiday. This was a few years before I came into the rooms, and bad move. I went on holiday with some acquaintances. I got a job in a club at 34. I'm raving with the 18-year-olds. I think I'm living my best life. They're like, you're old enough to be my mum. I'm like, thanks. Raving with the kids. Shame, guy. And yeah. Oh, I forgot what I was going to say then. It's all right, it'll come back. See, it's actually all right for me to pause today. I really do feel like it's all right for me to pause today. I was talking about that holiday that I went on, it was awful. I ended up going on holiday with a bunch of people from the club that I worked at. I'm obviously on one from start to finish. I think it was the first night or the second night, I can't remember. I get blackout drunk, grab my friend by the throat, tell her I'm going to hang her over the balcony, and threaten to bottle her with a Sambuca bottle. Completely forget about it. Ruin everyone's vibe, and then everyone turns on me. Because obviously it's like, that's not fun, Rach. I can't remember it. So now I'm just by myself, Billy No Mates with the crew. I go to... When they're going out, I stay in. When I stay in, like when they're staying in, I go out. I go out on this pub crawl by myself. End up in a strip club, as you do. I'm drinking shots with these randoms. I end up getting into a car with a man who says he's going to drive me home. This man ends up driving me around. I'm like, I'm off my face. I don't recognize anywhere. The man starts driving me into the woods. I had to get out of a moving vehicle and run for my life. Unmanageable. Can't differentiate the true from the false. My addict, alcoholic life seems the only normal one. I was thinking as well about like my kids, and you know what it's like when you're on one and you end up in random people's houses and all of that stuff. And a couple of times people ended up back at mine, but I've got children. You know that powerlessness when you've got men in your house that you don't trust around your daughter? You know that kind of powerlessness there? You're not asking those men to leave, but you feel edgy. You feel edgy. I used to have tools all around my house, hammer in the side of the sofa, knives hidden, because I'm ready. I'm scared. I'm insane. I remember going to bed at night and being like so stiff with sheer like fear and tension and anxiety, but not even realizing it. I used to have crazy thoughts. I was like, oh, somebody's going to come in, they're going to do this, I'm going to have to. Madness. It's what we call the madness. When I'd clock it and I'd realize, I'd relax myself and then be like, okay, that's not even happening. I'm just imagining that. Unmanageable. I needed to understand that. And do you know what? Even when me living in the tent, homeless and drinking to blackout and getting everything in my life was being stripped away from me, I still couldn't see the insanity of that. That was the level of my delusion. So it's such a beautiful thing for my sponsor to gently walk me through and kindly show me the level of my craziness, because I just didn't understand it. So I came into recovery. My rock bottom looked like, that wasn't even it. There was another situation that I just wanted to mention, and it was like the end of a 2-day bender. I was in some house with some randoms. You know when you see people go and come back again, and you're still there, and you're on a different level, smashed. You know when you get that feeling where you know something really bad is going to happen? You know that feeling? Something in you goes, danger, get out. Because these dudes are looking at me and I'm thinking, something really bad is going to happen. I couldn't sleep for a couple of days after that. It's a blessing. I can't believe nothing, really bad like that. Like me being driven into the woods. That didn't stop me. Of course it didn't. I got smashed that very night. Still put myself in dangerous situations, parent, and all of it. So, so I wanted to talk about those things just because I found it quite hard to see that unmanageability, the powerlessness. My sponsor made it very simple. She was like, Rach, have you ever had one line of cocaine? No. Why would I want to? Why? What's the point in that? I drink and drug to get smashed. I want to go hard. Have you ever had one drink, Rach? No, I don't drink for the taste. I drink for the effect. I did not understand what alcoholism and addiction was until I came into these rooms. It was explained to me. It talks about it in the book. Dr. Silkworth, Bill Wilson is talking about it was explained. This kind doctor explained it. And anyone that knows me knows I love this book. I love this book so much. The big book of Alcoholics Anonymous, just for anybody that's new, we use this 12-step program, even though it says alcoholics, you just change it to drugs, or if it's drugs and alcohol. I didn't understand the book when I first came in. It was written in the 1930s. The language is old. I mean, I had that typical, why hasn't someone zhuzhed it? Why is it so old? It's like, it's literally transformed millions of people's lives, and little Miss Gutter has the audacity to think, oh, you can do it better. It's funny. It's really funny. But, I really needed to understand the illness, and when this woman explained it to me, it was so beautiful because the book came alive. I had an experience when I went through this book. And now that's what I do with other women, and it's just the most incredible thing that I've ever done. And I don't want to jump too quickly over to the solution because I do tend to do that. But basically, what I needed to understand, this amazing doctor, Dr. Silkworth, this kind little old man, he wasn't an alcoholic, he wasn't an addict. He spent his whole life dedicated to helping us. He was one of the first medical professionals that understood that I am different. I don't get to choose if I have an allergy or not. If I eat a peanut and my throat opens up, I don't have a choice in that. I can't say, do you know what, it's a bit inconvenient. And I'm not crazy. I don't think, oh, you know what, let me just try half a peanut. I don't do that. I drink and use because I like the effect produced. And it's that sense of ease and comfort. You see, the end of my drinking, so I picked up a drink and drug at the age of 13, 14. And it was a progressive, I actually drank and used alcoholically and addictively from the beginning. But I didn't know that. I had children at a young age, and that kind of kept me a little bit functional. And as soon as they kind of fled the nest, I just went for it. And I'm really grateful for that now. It sounds crazy for anyone coming in. It's like, I remember hearing people say, I'm a grateful, recovered addict. And I'm like, what do you mean? How? How can you be grateful? This is my life over now. This is how I have fun. This is how I relax. This is how I socialize. This is how I have sex. This is how I do everything. What are you trying to say? You expect me to not be able to do that? This is my identity. This is who I am. I didn't know there was a different way. I didn't know that I would like all of those things that I just mentioned way better, clean and sober. Because I'm actually present today. I wasn't present today. I was seeking something, but I just didn't know what it was. I was seeking some kind of connection. I was seeking some kind of peace, but I didn't know what it was. And that elusive thing, I'm chasing it. I'm trying to catch it. I'm trying to find it. I'm trying to catch it, but I can't. Because as soon as I get there, I want more. I want more. I want more. I want more. The disease of more, we call it. So it's funny as well that I didn't, identify myself like that, even though my dad died at 58, and a horrific alcoholic death. And my brother was a heroin addict, and he went through rehabs, and he became, he got clean and sober. But I think I'm a parent. I can work. I'm not, I've got a stereotype. And I wanted to talk about this. I just wanted to talk about this word, God. I really wanted to talk about that. I couldn't say that word when I came in. And if there's any newcomers in this room that have this certain, in the book it's called an antipathy. Bill Wilson describes it as he bristles with antagonism when he thinks of this idea about God. I had a sensation happen. God, not me. I'm too cool. I'm too bad. I want to be bad. I don't want to be good like that. And I was having this reaction, and it was a prejudice. We've got this beautiful chapter in this book called We Agnostics. We, us, united, without knowledge. I had no knowledge or experience of a power greater than myself. I knew this other power that was bringing me down to hell. I was basically slowly killing myself. That's what my addiction does to me. It tells me in this book, many pursue it into the gates of insanity and death. You see me pissing in that bottle on my own in the tent with the hammer and the knife, and my family is all there, and I'm just getting more and more isolated, and I'm not drinking water, and I'm not eating food, and I'm just taking any drugs that will get me off my rocker, and I'm drinking only alcohol. I'm going against every basic human need to survive. I have to understand that I've got an illness. And this amazing little doctor, sorry if I'm jumping around a little bit, but I've got so much love for him because he put his stamp of approval on the book. He said, you can trust and rely on them, absolutely. I've seen these people get well. This is what I'm witness to now. I'm witness to God working in different people's lives. So I had this judgment about this word, God. I couldn't even say the word. I felt like a weirdo. I felt like a loser. Even the book, it's blue. I was like, you're dying, but you're like, oh, God. Okay. I love the word now. The word is just a word, right? It's just a 3-letter word. It's what it means to me. It's a conception of a power greater than myself that has led me. So even though I'm in love with this book is not the gold, this is not the treasure, this is the treasure map, right? So this is the 12 steps that leads me to tapping into something that is not only going to keep me clean and sober, but also give me a peace and a serenity that you can't buy. You can't buy it. It's spiritual. And that means that I have to experience it. And to experience it, I've got to do it. And it won't work unless I do it. That word God really freaks a lot of people out, myself included. And if there's anyone in this room that feels a little bit weird or scared about that word, just be honest about it. Just talk to us about it. We'll happily share. I can't speak for everyone. I would happily share my experience of how I went from not believing in this thing to believing. Because basically, whether you relate to my experience or not, I just really hope that you stick and stay. Because the beauty of this fellowship is we've now got a global fellowship. We've got Zoom now. We've got Donna J and Andy H in the house all the way over from America, right? Speakers, I know it's principles over personalities, but we've got amazing inspirational speakers here with us in the flesh, but we now have access to that on Zoom. I can tap into that at any time, and it doesn't matter what somebody's story looks like. It doesn't matter what they used, how they used, when they used, what their background was, if they had trauma, if they didn't, blah, blah, blah. Not saying none of that matters in a rude, horrible way. I mean, we all have one common problem. My problem is lack of power. I've lost the power of choice. Without this power in my life, I'm gonna use. It's inevitable. I have no shadow of a doubt that that is the case. So I need to get into this work. And that's what happened to me. And my step one experience, it wasn't even the having to run for my life or nearly, having really awful, horrendous things happen to me because I was hanging around with really bad people, or not bad, or the homelessness, or the falling on my face and knocking my front tooth out, or the terrible parenting, or any of that. What happened for me, my step one experience, was that I had no fight left in me. I had no fight left in me. And you see, me to stop fighting, that took a long time. That took a lot of battering, because I'm stubborn and I'm hard-headed and I'm arrogant and I'm prideful. I don't want to ask for help. I don't want to admit that I'm struggling. I don't want to admit that I can't do it. I had to be beaten into a sense of reasonableness. And that hopelessness, unfortunately, it says, we need to be pretty badly mangled. I needed to be at that point of desperation where I had no other choice than to come in here and go, okay, tell me what I need to do. And if that's where you're at, that's actually a beautiful place to be, because that's the kind of willingness that will get you onto the, into the humility of saying, right, what do I need to do? And that's what happened to me. And this is just my experience. And I know that not everybody has had this experience, but I came in to the rooms desperate and willing, and I did everything that was suggested. And my experience is that I haven't had to pick up since. That is possible. Relapse doesn't have to be a part of anybody's story. And if it is, it's okay, because every single experience is another opportunity to be of help to someone else. That the cunning, baffling, powerful bit of my illness, even recently I've had a really challenging time in my recovery, and I could see the illness working in my head. I could see a poisonous resentment festering in my head, telling me, yeah, you're right, they're wrong. But the beauty of this program is I've been shown what I need to do. I've been shown exactly what I need to do. The spiritual tools have been laid at my feet. So if I go into self too much, I'm in the danger zone. I'm at risk of picking up. But my sponsor, she said to me, there were a couple of things that she just made so clear that it was beautiful, and this is what I pass on. Sponsorship is not optional, straight up. My first 3 sponsees, they never sponsored. So now when I work with women, I say, look, this is the deal, this is the condition. I will take you through this work. It will be a pleasure and a joy and a privilege on the condition that you pass it forward, because I know that you're going to stay well if you do that. The other thing she said is inventory is not optional. It's not like I'm going to do it one day when I'm feeling angry or sad. So inventory, step 11, nightly review, has just become a part of my recovery. I can't go without it. And thank God, because around that time when my head was telling me stuff that wasn't spiritual, it wanted to justify, it wanted the self-pity and the blame and the criticism and the judgment. Because that's where I'm going to go, yeah, I'm right, they're wrong. And I'm going to lose that unity, that tradition one. I'm going to step away from all the things that are going to keep me well. So, I came in 2019 at Christmas, and I grabbed hold of this stuff, and I got well really quickly. And there's lots of references in the big book to, this thing happening quickly. If I'm willing, if I put the work in, I can reset at any time. I can absolutely reset my recovery at any time. Sometimes it's just that subtle shift, the spot check inventory on page 84. I mean, when I say page numbers, it's not to be a big book twat. It's because my sponsor was brilliant at directing me back to the literature. So I gained a confidence with the book. She didn't just talk at me, because it used to go in one ear and out the other ear. But she'd go, "Oh, Fia, there's a bit in the book on that." And then she'd say, "Oh, this sounds like you need to do a spot check inventory. That's on this." So that's what I do, because it's empowering, right? If people can learn, get their own kind of experience and confidence with the book. So yeah, I came in and I basically just grabbed hold of this stuff, and I started to get well very quickly. And I started sponsoring straight away. And that was an absolute gift and privilege and joy and honor to be able to take other women through this book. And I didn't feel good enough, and I didn't feel ready. And sometimes I work with women and they're like, "I'm scared, I don't feel like I'm going to be good enough." And it's like, we don't have to do anything other than read the book. You just have to read the book with someone, and God comes in and the magic happens. The magic absolutely happens. So let me just take a minute, because I feel like, I don't know, I just feel like I want to take a minute. Thank you so much for just being patient and being there with me. I never would have had the confidence even just to do that before. I don't feel like I'm trying to put on a show for you guys. I feel like, what does God want me to say to some newcomer in the room? How can I offer my experience, my strength and my hope? How can I convey this message in a way that might touch someone's soul so they can go, "Do you know what? I believe that woman. I believe that woman." And it's funny, being here with all of you guys and having this amazing fellowship. It's global. This thing is global now. I've got friends all around the world. I can't believe that. I've always wanted to travel, but I've always felt a little bit scared, because I've got no navigational sense. It's not one of my best qualities. And now it's like, this is what God has done. Through Zoom, I now know people all around the world, that I can just go and travel and visit and do fellowship and do meetings all around the world. I mean, isn't that amazing? I was laughing because people were like, "Oh, Rach, you look really nice." And I feel like a real girl today. And it's really funny, because I'm not actually that girly, believe it or not. I like building things and power tools and fire, and I like camping and just being outside and being in nature. But I've learned how to curl my hair, and I'm 43, and I'm quite chuffed with myself. I've got these round curling tongs, and I'm the only person in the history of the earth that can make a square curl with a round curler. Honestly, it's a real thing. I'm like, how? How did you do that? I've practiced. They're around today. But, when I came in, it's not like a vanity thing, but when I came in, I felt like such a tramp. I was such a tramp, you know what I mean? I just lived in the same old, haggard, unclean clothes, leggings and hoodie, and I love leggings and hoodie, but it was like I felt like a little street rat. I'm just going out and running around. It talks about like being a creature, unlovely in their cups, this creature. That's what I was. I became a zombie, completely powerless to drink and drugs, destroying myself. And now, oh my days. And it's all because of this 12 steps. And what I love about the 12 steps is that they're very clear cut. I love the fact that I don't have to work out the program. My problem is, I'll do this little, some of you might have heard it, but I like it. On page 58, it says, "Rarely have we seen a person fail who has thoroughly followed our path." Thoroughly followed our path. And I like these little analogies and visions and stuff. And I imagine me being lost alone, scared and afraid in some desert or wooded area. And then I find a path. And it's so clear. It's just been laid out for me. The grass has moved. It's clear that a lot of people have trampled this path. Rach, just follow the path. Oh, no, I'm going to go this way. Idiot. Oh, no, I'm going to go this way. I'll climb just follow the path. It's been laid out, tried and tested. And my experience has been when I try to find an easier, softer way, when I go back into my selfishness, because that is the root of my troubles, it always boils down to that for me. It always boils down, and this is why inventory for me is so important, because then I get to see the truth. Where is it affecting my self-esteem? Where is it affecting my personal relationships, my pride, my ego, my money? You know, it's all me. It's all me all the time. And all of that me-ness is underneath that is fear. And I didn't even know that I had fear. I can be little miss big, you know, I've got this chameleon kind of, you know, we talk about it, the masks that we wear. We just had a beautiful meditation meeting and we just heard people speak from their heart about their fear, you know, and it's so identifiable, it's so relatable, it's so beautiful to be able to share that. You guys showed me how to be courageous enough to say that I'm scared. I couldn't do that before. Definitely couldn't do that before. I was way too prideful. So yeah, miracles have happened in these rooms for me. I do a couple of book studies now. I know there's amazing book studies out there, and if anybody's not feeling the book, you know, I highly recommend going to a book study, whether it be somebody guiding them. You know, we've got some incredible messengers that bring it alive in their own way. But we've also got meetings where you can go and people will read a paragraph and then everybody in the meeting will share what that paragraph means to them, and it helps it embed, it helps it sink in. You know, and I've got 2 book studies today, and one of them on a Thursday, I love it so much. It's called Big Book Lovers, because anyone that knows me will know that I love love. And I used to hear like big book bashers, big book thumpers, and it sounds a little bit like we're forcing it. You know, I've fallen in love with these 12 steps. I've fallen in love with the book because sounds cliche, but it has literally set me free. I have a lot of respect for the literature because it's not just worked for me, it's worked for millions of people all around the world. What we're dealing with here is absolute magic. It's divine, it's powerful, and it's so simple. It's been written out for me. One of my favorite pages, I refer to it a lot, page 14, it says, simple, but not easy. Simple because it's been written out, there's 12 steps, there's not a million steps. I don't have to work it out. I don't have to rewrite it. I've got a sponsor. They're going to show me what to do. I've got a fellowship. They can guide me when I get stuck or scared. I just have to show up and read the book and do what's suggested. But it's not easy. And that's because a price has to be paid. And that price means the destruction of self-centeredness. Oh, there's the kicker. There's the kicker. That's the bit that hurts, that ego deflation. My pride has to be leveled. And do you know what? It has to be leveled all the time because my ego rebuilds and I don't even know it. I'm self-will run riot and I don't even know it. And it's only after you get through the burner of like, ooh, that stung, ooh, that you think, that's what God wanted me to see. I need to be a humble servant today. Funnily enough, I'm most happy when I'm a humble servant. When I don't want anything from anyone, when I'm not worried about money, I'm just in faith. I'm like, God's got me. It's only when I go back into self, it's only when I go into fear that I stop trusting God. I start going back into, yeah, but they should, and it's just like, it's painful. It's so painful. So just before I sort of start finishing up in a few minutes, I'll explain. So you heard what I was like, the insanity, the madness, the powerlessness, the love of my own children was not enough to stop me from drinking and using. And I loved those kids. The craziness, the insanity of my illness, what it led me to do. And then what happened was that I was beaten into that sense of reasonableness, and I got into action. My first sponsor, she wasn't a big book sponsor. Amazing woman, love her to bits, but she wasn't a big book sponsor. So we used to meet up and we'd have coffee and we'd have a chat, and then she said to me, right, you're through step 2. Right, you've done step 3. And I was like, oh, great, okay, what's next? But I didn't understand what the steps were. I didn't know what I was doing. My second sponsor, she was a big book sponsor, and she was armed with the facts in this book. And we read this book line by line, page by page. And she helped this book come alive for me. And thank God, because today my life is just so different. It's so, I can't even put it into words. For one, I'm really, my life feels so full today. It's full of fellowship, service, meetings. I can sit quietly today. I never used to be able to do that. I was like human doing, do. My sponsor was like, you're a human being. Sit down, relax, go slow. I was talking about the book studies because I just wanted to invite anyone. For that big book lovers, we've got a colour code, and it's obviously open to interpretation, but I think I've got a bit of dyslexia, and some of the, I didn't understand some of the language in the book. And we've got a dictionary, which I can send to anyone. It's just a PDF if you're interested. I can send it to you. I sent it to the printers, and it was 15 quid to get it printed out. And if you wanted to know what the words were on page 157, you just look on the dictionary, and all the words are there. Because words like omnipotence, do you know what I mean? All powerful, an agnostic, without knowledge. I didn't know what those words mean, but in the book study, we go in. And we even define the words that we think we know. Words like entirely. What does entirely mean? Earnestly. We beg with all the earnestness at our command. We beg of you to be fearless and thorough from the very start. Earnest means with sincere and intense conviction. So we go through all of that, and then we've got a colour code like green for directions, orange for solution, pink for promises, yellow for prayers, blue for warning, and purple for promises. And when I open that book, I've got a book for that book study, it almost feels like decoding the big book a little bit. I can make it that little bit more simple. I'm looking at it going, wow, that's it. Yeah, I understand it that little bit more. And that's an absolute joy to do. I've gone and restudied. I've been trying to do this thing for like nearly 20 years of my life. I've never been able to do it because I'm an alcoholic and I'm an addict. And I was never going to be able to do it because I couldn't be consistent. I couldn't be disciplined. I was too prideful. I thought I could find an easier, softer way. But I've just recently invested in this amazing course. I've just finished it. I'm just about to be certified. And I've started my own practice, and I'm on my way, doing something in service, helping people. I've got an amazing relationship with my family. Thank you. I've got an amazing relationship with my family today. I can show up. I can be selfless. I never used to be able to do that. Everything revolved around me. It was always about what I wanted, what I needed, how I wanted things to be. And I actually really just love the most simple things in life today. I really enjoy eating as well. I love eating. I really love eating. I never used to care about food when I was drinking and using. It was just like crackers, packet noodles, whatever, I love eating. You can't take me anywhere because I'm like, oh my God, look at the leaf. Look at the leaf. was like, it's God. I'm like, can you see God in the leaf? I'm like, because I'm you and you're me and we're it and it's here and we're here and it's just going to be gone soon. And it's just like really amazing. So, yeah, for the first time, I just feel really excited about life today. You know, when I came in, I used to dread the days. I didn't really want to kill myself, but I didn't want to be here. I was scared of the days, and I didn't want to be here. And today I wake up and I'm grateful, and I'm keen, and I'm excited about recovery. And if anybody out there is thinking, oh, but is it going to get boring? Is it going to get samey? We're dealing with life. We're dealing with magic. We're dealing with spiritual experiences. This stuff is infinite. This book is just my starting base. It leads me on to different things that are going to just blow my mind. My mind is already being blown. So you guys, we're not even here talking about drink and drugs. We're talking about freedom. I'm so glad you laughed at that, because I really, really wanted to do that, right? I swear to God, I really wanted to do it. And I was like, yeah, but Rach, what if they don't laugh? And then I had a vision that I went, freedom, from Braveheart. And then the whole room went deathly silent, right? Like a pin could drop. And then I just drop the mic like that, not like that, and run off the stage. And all the newcomers are like, what is going on? Anyway, I'm a very grateful recovered addict. My name is Rach. Thank you so much, everyone.